Hello friends, welcome back to Study IT Express session 19, and today we will learn about subquery, right? So in the last session we touched base, what is subquery and all, right? Now we will learn in deep, right? So we will learn subquery and then we will learn the set operators and then we will at the end we will learn the joins, right? So let's see subquery. So what is subquery, right? A subquery is a query within another query or nested query, right? Simply if you see, right, subquery means inside the another query, right? Simply. So it means a subquery, uh, subquery is a query within another query, right? Or nested query, as I mentioned before, right? Nested query. Okay, so the outer query is called the main query and the inner query is called the subquery. The outer query is called main query, right? Main query and the inner query is called subquery. Very simple, right? Right? And where the subquery can be added? Subquery is usually or always, I would say, added in the where clause. Very simple, right? Of this equal statement, right? And it is basically used when you want to search anything in the select clause, right? Now let me show you the syntax, right? Syntax of subquery, right? So it is select column name 1 from table name 1 where column name 2 and then comparison operator. All these things we will learn, guys. Comparison operator, okay, and then inside it select column name 3 from table name 2. Table name 1, table name 2 I am trying to give you so that you can understand where whatever is the condition. We will understand this one, right, with the examples, but let me first tell you the concept, because first you should be knowing what is the concept, right? Now what is the comparison operator here? If you see, this is the comparison operator, right? What kind of comparison operators we have, right? Comparison operators, right? It can be can be equal to sign, greater than sign, less than sign, greater than equal to sign, less than equal to sign, right? These are the operators, and it can also be, or I can put here, it can also be text operators. Operators such as like operator, in, not in as well. Okay, so this is something, right? You know, we can do this way, right? Now let's take an example, right? So let's say, tell me, let's say example is, tell me all the employees irrespective of their departments who are having salary greater than 90,000 rupees. Very simple, right? So what we will do is, we will go to here and let's take an example. Let me write it actually. Okay, let me, these are the some other examples which I wanted to show you. We will see it later. Okay, okay. Tell me the employees, all the employees, all the employees, sorry guys, irrespective of their department who are having salary greater than 90,000. This is the question. 90,000. There you go. Fair enough. So what we will do is, select star from college.teacher, right? College.teacher. Very simple, right? We will put it and we will run it. Let's see what happens. Very simple. It will give you all the data, right? Now what I am asking, where salary, right? Salary, if you see, salary is greater than, right, 90,000. Simple, right? If you see, so how many are there total, right? Let's see. Okay, look here. There are only 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of employees, right? And if you want to do a count, right, how many are total teachers? Let's do this thing. Okay, select count of star as I mentioned before, right, and from college.teacher, right? If you see, let me put it here also so that this defect will go. And if you run this one over here, right, 24, right, and in that how many are there with 90,000 salary? If you see, only 4 or 5 of them, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of them only, right? So you see now that what is the thing actually, right? So okay, so in the last session when we were discussing, right, we did something of like this sort, right? When we were doing the college.teacher, right? Let me show you that one, right? Now we can see. Okay, so question was, tell me the teacher in department 002 who is having the maximum salary, right? This was the question, right? So if you see over here, right, if I say like this one, right, and if I say select star from teacher, let me copy this thing so that I can show you just for refreshing your memory, right? If you see where department underscore ID is equal to, okay, DEPT department underscore 002, right? If I do this one, okay, not star. Okay, if you see Divya Yadav was the person who was having the salary, the maximum salary, right? But if you remember it very properly, right, if I put the teacher name also here, right, I just want to know the teacher name, right, teacher underscore name, right, comma department ID. So I have to, if I do this way and if I go do it over here, right, so if I run this, for example, right, it is giving everything. This is not correct, right? I want to know the teacher name, right? How will I get that, right? Simple way, one way, like what we can do is we can now use the subquery. How we will use the subquery, right? Now you got this thing, right? And then you say like this one, right? Fair enough. Now you can say that this is the one, and let me take that out. Yeah. So what we will do is, right, if you see, if I do this way, right, I am not able to find the answer, right? Question is, right, very simple question is, tell me, or it is upstairs of yeah, yeah, this is the question, right? Tell me the teacher, right, in department 002 which is having the, where it is gone, yeah, there you go, right? This is the one, right? So what we, how we gonna do? Very simple, right? From college, right, college dot teacher, right? If we do this way, this will be a problem, right? So what we will do is we will remove the department ID from here, right, max of salary, right, and group by over here, right, and we will say where department ID is equal to 002, right, department ID is equal to 002, right, where department ID equal to 002, right, in, and then you can put over here the closing one starting, right? Now if you run this one, right, let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, first let me put the semicolon. Look guys, there's no problem of putting semicolon or not. Why I put it? Because this is my habit, right? Okay, so if I run this way, look here, Divya Yadav came, right? So this is how you will be able to find the maximum, or you want to know the teacher, like who is having the maximum salary. Okay, and as mentioned in the last, like session, right, if you want to know the maximum salary of each and every department, so this is very simple. So you'll say, okay, department 002 is having this thing, and like department 1 is having this thing, right? In this way you'll come to know. If you want to know the name, here also you can work like this, right? So this is what is, like basic of like subquery. Okay, now let's see what happens in actual execution. Okay, so let me show you. Now you have seen two of the subqueries, like how it works. Okay, so I will show you pictorial representation of subquery, right? So what happens? This is the main query, like as I told you, right? This is the main query, right? Which you have seen select star from, like in the this one, right? And then this is the subquery. The small part of it is a subquery, right? What happens is the result of subquery, the result of subquery, right? First the subquery is executed and result of this is given into the main query. Very simple. Subquery is a query within the query, main query and subquery, right? Now some of the rules actually which I wanted to mention, right? Rules of subqueries, right? Number one is a subquery can be nested inside the where or having clause. The where or having clause. Of an outer select insert update of an outer select insert update, right? Or delete statement. Okay, and subquery can be evaluative and also, let me say, also subquery can be evaluated as if it is an independent, let me make it independent, right, query, right? So basically what happens is whatever data is comes over here, right? Let's take an example of like the earlier one, right? Let's take an example. If I take an example of where it is, okay, yeah. So let's take an example of this one, right? Select star from college or teacher where salary is greater than 90,000. So what will happen is, okay, yeah. So what will happen? No, this is not the right one actually. Yes, this one. Okay. Let's take an example of this. Select star from college teacher where salary in, select max of salary from this thing, right? So if you want to execute it, right, the subquery. So if you want, you can execute it independently also, right? Let me show you this thing. So if you see over here, if you run it like this, okay, it will give you the maximum of salary. So ideally what gonna happen is, if I take an example of this one and I keep it here, right? So this 94,000, what will happen is that this 94,000 will automatically be inserted over here, 94228, okay? And when you run this one, it will show the same data. Look here, Divya Yadav. If you see the old one, right, this one also, it is also giving you the same thing, Divya Yadav, right? So this is subquery is independent. So what I was trying to tell you is that subquery is an independent, right? It doesn't need the other, it can be executed independently, right? So this is the subquery, right? Now subquery can be divided into two parts. Okay, let me, or subquery are of two types. Subquery are of two types, right? Number one is single row subquery, and second one is multiple row subquery. Okay, now single row subquery is what? Single row subquery. It returns only one row. It returns only one row per subquery. Okay, and following are the operators. Okay, what are the operators? Basically equal to, greater than, okay, greater than, equal to, less than equal to, or not equal to, right? Just for an example, if I say tell me who are having salary greater than 90,000, right? So it will tell you the exact number of, like, one row, like, this is, how should I say, Neha Yadav, right? And Sarvjita Verma, right? These guys are only who are the people who are having more of the, the salary, right, greater than 90,000, right? So this is called the single row, right? Now what is a multi-row, right? Multi-row subquery, it returns multiple operators. Multi-row subquery, it returns multiple, right, rows or values, per subquery, right? Example of it is in operator, right? In operator, as we have understood that, it is having multiple, right? In means basically it can be 90,000 comma 6,000 comma 8,000 comma 20,000. So you are telling about very specific, right? When you say greater than 90,000, anything and everything will come. In operator is like, in operator is, these are the specific, okay, 90,000, 6,000, 5,000, 8,000, right? So in operator, right? Any operator, right? Compare value, let me make a in operator equal to any member in the list, right? Any simply means compare value with each value returned from the subquery, each value returned from the subquery. subquery. And all simply means compare the value to every value returned in. Compare the value to every value returned in subquery. Okay, so these two are there. Right, we will learn more about this example in our next class, right? So we will have the session 2 of this one. Okay, cool. Thank you guys, thanks a lot for your time. Take care, bye bye.